We carried a story yesterday at 5 and 6. And the reason I'm bringing up that story is because I want to hear from the Minister of Local Government, Desmond McKenzie, as to, what will happen, because the issue of building permits and people sticking to the permits, sticking to what they were approved to build, and during the phase of the construction, if something deviates from the plan and if you apply for the deviation to be part of the finished structure, or if you knock down the deviation and continue according to the plan, if you put up a building without a permit and you ask for it to be permitted to be approved post-construction, all of those things, the rules allow for the practicalities of construction. So, there are certain people, Dennis, if you ask questions, they think that you're making an accusation.
Right.
If you say, boy, this looks fuzzy to me, could you clarify it? Oh, you're accusing people. You're not accusing nobody, nothing. You just ask questions. Yeah. So we carried a story yesterday, Jermaine, at 5. I'd like you to just replay it, for us to remind ourselves of what happened and, why I'm asking the local government minister, given all that has been in the public domain about construction and permits and everything, to put the issue into perspective and to make a comment on it.
The allegations surround a building located at 18 3/4 Lyndhurst Road in Kingston, which was reportedly constructed without the required permit from the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC. The building in question bears the logo of the Jackden Group of Companies and houses a medical facility. Councillor Gordon is the chairman of the Jackden Group. The structure also has the word the Dennis Gordon Building written on it. A media launch was held in October this year where Gordon was announced as the chairman of Jackden. At the launch, Councillor Gordon revealed the operation of a medical facility from the building. Gordon is listed on the company's website as its chairman and his son, Dennis Gordon Jr., named as a director. Our news center understands that the probe launched by a law enforcement agency centers on reports that the building reportedly owned by Councillor Gordon's company was built without the required permit from the KSAMC. Investigations are also underway into reports that the senior members of the KSAMC are involved in efforts to retroactively approve the building's construction. Councillor Gordon sits on the KSAMC's building committee, which had responsibility for reviewing permits. The building committee is reportedly scheduled to meet next in early January next year. The allegations and subsequent investigations are raising serious concerns about the integrity of the process and the potential abuse of authority within the KSAMC. Our news center understands that the law enforcement agency which is investigating the matter is moving to assess whether Councillor Gordon's position on the building committee, which oversees approvals at the KSAMC, could also present a potential conflict of interest. The councillor was contacted but declined to comment, directing Nationwide News instead to contact the KSAMC directly.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Councillor Gordon. This is Siobhan Campbell from Nationwide News. I want to speak with you on the record regarding a building located on 18th.
No. With a building what?
A building located on 18 3/4 Lyndhurst Road that has.
What you want to speak to me about?
I'm asking if you received a permit for the construction of that building from the KSAMC.
Call the KSAMC and ask them that.
Oh, okay. Are you unwilling to speak with me?
No, I'm not speaking to you. I said call the KSMC.
Okay, very well. Thank you, Councillor Gordon.
You're welcome.
Nationwide News also attempted to contact Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby and KSAMC CEO Robert Hill. Several calls were made to their respective phones between 2 and 4 p.m. with no success. Checks on the KSAMC's website show no such construction being approved. There's, however, a permit listed as pending for 18 1/2 Lyndhurst Road, the location of an apostolic church. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
So that's the situation.
But I hope it's not true, because I would not want to think. I mean, not if what is said is correct. I mean, not having the permit is one thing, but retroactively approving, I hope that's not so.
Yeah.
Because that would be a bad day.
Yeah.
If that is so.
Well, law enforcement has the issue based on our understanding, so we wait to see what happens. But then it's the other story that saddens me, the one at Immaculate Conception.
Yeah.
With that the teacher and the student, and as a parent, as a human being,
I'm a parent there.
Well, that's why I mentioned it to you, because
When I heard, immediately I started thinking about my daughter. And what came to mind, George, I heard you with Mocha the other day, right? And one of the things that Basil spoke about is recruitment that they go through, the process. And it came to mind right away that once you are dealing with children, the recruitment process is so, so important. And what I would love to know is what sort of recruitment process do schools go through to ensure that the person that they have on staff actually goes through the proper background checks, police record and all of that. Because if you put in adults in classrooms with children, you have to make sure you do the proper checks. So I would love to know that,
The story said, the Gleaner's reporting on the matter said that Sissoko was, of course, notified first and started their investigation and did put all the pieces together. And the school wasn't notified at all. So the school, kept out of the thing. So when they say that, because people are accusing the school of covering up, I know that's the thing people always draw for us about the school. I don't think Immaculate would cover up.
I do not think that they would cover up. One thing I can say about them, what I'm concerned about is the recruitment process.
Yes.
That for me is important, because if you don't go through proper recruitment, then you could say to yourself, what else is happening?
Yes. And it is more than saying that, boy, people wicked and you can't believe that people do these things with children, but there are people like that. That's why you don't recruit them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. The details of the story, though, difficult to read. There was a line about the child going to a public place with their parents, and the man there in a car texting the little girl.
Yeah.
I don't know. Boy, we have teenagers. We're fathers of teenage girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in high school, it's hard to read because you start thinking all kind of things.
Well, let me tell you something. If I ever hear anything about that, it would be very difficult to restrain me.
But of course, and that's the thing. And that's the thing. Yeah, it is. I don't know, but you make that very important point. Schools know, and it shouldn't take another incident. The school boards need to say, gentle people, what do we do about the kind of people that we bring in? If you have an all-girl, all-boy school, co-ed school, doesn't matter. What about the background of someone? Because it is, and I'm not going to say it's more palatable, but you have a lesser burden to carry, a burden nonetheless, if something like this happens for someone whose background checked out, rather than someone whose background you didn't check at all.
Yeah. Well, I would commend to the ministry that they ensure that all schools do background checks on everybody who's there right now.
Yeah, from janitor go right up.
Yeah, man. Everybody should have a background check. And if you have an adverse police record, then you should have a problem being there.
Yes.
But I think the schools and the ministry owes it to the public and parents in particular and the students to ensure that they go right now and the background checks on everyone and police records.
And as parents, we should ask the schools, okay, so what are you doing about your checks of those who are exposed to our children daily?
Because one thing to report it is another thing to say what is going to be put in place to ensure this doesn't happen again.
Yes. Boy, it's a heavy story, and my heart goes out to the child this morning, and I don't know, a big man imposing themselves on a child. What that mean? You're a gallis, you're a star, you're slick, a picnic.
That's a sick mind, man. It's a sick mind.
There are so many questions about what would motivate somebody to do something like this and to keep a record. It is depraved, as the Gleaner headline caught it perfectly. Sick and twisted. And twisted. Yeah. Anyway, Mr. King, give me some more music and I'll take us to the break and then we'll come back and do some more business.